So, I don't want to start a video with so. It's always like, so, yes, how have you been lately? Yeah. This evening, as it is October, the month of Halloween, as you can see behind us, we thought we would share with you some of our ghost stories and strange experiences of which... What is... Yeah, it's the spirits. Excuse me. I remember being in the old house, not the house that we're in now, and there was always this weird feeling that you couldn't stay downstairs on your own in the dark, and you literally always had to run up the stairs. You couldn't just walk calmly up the stairs. You'd always have that feeling of something being behind you.
Especially like in the staircase, it's kind of like you just have like random hands just being like,
yeah,
as you're going up.
Yeah, but it wasn't like an open staircase. You had walls either side of you, so you were protected. But it was, I don't know. But then the weird thing with that is when we moved here and we all sat around the kitchen table, like on the second night, we're telling various ghost stories and talking about like the old house and stuff, and all of us said we all felt like we couldn't just walk up the stairs. You had to run and you felt something behind you, and that is so weird.
It begins.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one of the experiences.
See, the one I told you the other day about the one in Hockley.
Oh my god.
As in like my window one. But I don't think that was anything supernatural though. But I don't know, it's one of those ones where it's just so...
It's odd.
I'll tell you anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So, the house I lived in, going back about, over a decade, and that part of the house where I was sleeping was particularly, you know, I think it was just quite eerie because it was away from every other part of the house.
Yeah, you were quite
near the garage and that. In my sort of, I was pretty tired, but music was off, not great. Curtain rail come down, really not great. The man in the window, that really...
Yeah, that's not what you
really did it for me.
wanting to see.
So, I mean, that was just the icing on the cake. I mean, obviously, when your curtain rack comes down and your music stops, there has to be something to just top it off. And
yeah, wasn't that really early in the morning though?
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, how old are you? Like
10?
Yeah.
It's 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I experienced that state of, oh my god, and then my body had ran before my body had ran, so that was great. That was, I mean, I don't, even now I think it probably scared the life out of some poor passerby thinking, oh my god, what have I done? Like, just, my face is like a real picture of,
yeah.
Daddy! Run.
10-year-old screaming at you through the window.
Oh god.
Why would you, I don't understand, why?
It's just his startled expression, it was just kind of like,
yeah, when it's like,
I was like,
really
and he was like,
staring at you. It's the fact that the curtains fell down, almost like revealing him, like, ta-da!
No, it's like,
here I am.
The show has started.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, talking of windows, I remember, bearing in mind I hadn't, this is before I'd met any of your family or seen where they lived either, pulling up into that driveway bit, and this is really weird. Right, because you had the flat on the ground floor of the house. It's a big old Victorian house, and the floor above it,
the downstairs.
Yeah, and I was like, I looked up into the window, and I was like, that's the cat. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I saw this woman standing up in the window looking out, and I waved, and I thought nothing of it. I just thought that's Camilla's mum, who I hadn't yet met. And yeah, I said to you, I can't remember exactly, but I was like, oh, you know, is that your parents' bedroom? And you said, no, it's all locked. No one lives up there because you know it's not rented out, and that was one of those odd moments where I was like, okay, who did I see then? Because no one was up there, and yeah, no one was allowed up there.
So, Laura and I used to work in a restaurant a couple of years ago now, and the particular restaurant is, well, it was used as many things, wasn't it?
Yeah, bearing in mind it's pretty old. It was built in like 1800 and something, but yeah.
And where it's situated, what? Wow! Anyone else want to make another noise? Please now.
Oh, no, yeah, Paul.
We've got a special guest. He goes by the name of Paul. And he's pretty cool and pretty fluffy.
Pretty big.
And a big cat. He's a big cat.
Say hello, Paul. Oh, yeah, rip my shirt. That's really good. Oh my gosh.
He just wants cuddles. Hi, bud.
Hi.
That was real dramatic.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes.
So, I was working at the front, and I think there was a couple of guys working in the kitchen, and I was polishing wine glasses, and there was this family that walked in, and I seated them down. What was that? Fine, normal. Seated them and went to take their order, and the little girl, there was two little girls, and the youngest one, she just started going into like a real kind of fit. She was just freaking out, and I mean, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, we used to have lots of kids in there that would just scream and everything.
Yeah, so
not
it kind of
as much as that.
Sort of just a really quite scared child. But So I took their order, drinks, food, everything, and didn't think anything of it. And she carried on. She was quite set in her ways. She was like petrified. She was completely transfixed by whatever it was that was standing, or whatever was in the door, near the doorway where they'd come in. And she kept looking over and pointing and like hiding her gaze, because she clearly didn't want to look or acknowledge what was there, if anything was there, and she just kept pointing. The mother went to take her to the toilet, and where the toilets were situated, she had to come past the doorway, which is where she was freaking out about. And from memory, she tried with all her might to avoid being anywhere close to the door as possible. She tried to go around the barway where I was working behind, so that she could just avoid whatever was there. And her mother was like, oh, she's just, you know, freaking out about the coat hanger or something. And I remember thinking, she was old enough that something like a coat hanger would not freak out a child.
Yeah.
Anyway, she managed to get her daughter to the bathroom, and I just stood there thinking, oh, it's just eventful, you know, it's an average day of work.
Yeah.
And coming back, I mean, yeah, same coming back round.
Did that happen before I told you about what I saw there, or was that after?
This was before.
Right, okay.
I'm sure it was before.
Yeah, because I remember cleaning the, because we had the coffee machine, like, say I'm looking at the sink now, we had the coffee machine here, and then behind you where you'd stand was the doorway, so people would walk in and you'd have to, you turn around because you'd notice that the door would be open.
Yeah.
And I remember sort of taking the coffee machine parts apart and washing them at the end of the night. Bearing in mind this was probably like, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, so you're doing the last things on your list to do when you close down. And yeah, I turned around to get the things out of the coffee machine, and something from the corner of my eye just went whoosh from the door to where the toilets were, because you had the coffee machine to my left and then you had like a gap and then the toilet doors around the back. And yeah, it just went like whoosh really quickly. And from what I can remember, it was like a tall figure dressed in black, and then you had like a flash of white and a flash of orange, as if it was like white skin passing under a light, so it kind of lit up and then just went very quickly. And yeah, I remember telling this to remember Noel?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember telling that to him, and him saying that sometimes the priests from the church would be a headmaster for the school. Like in the old days, they would have had, you know, like the headmaster being a religious man. And I do wonder if that was the, I'm not sure what they call it. It's not a habit, is it? It's what it was called. I wouldn't say cassock, but it's not a cassock. But it's something like that. Like the black robes with all the buttons, and then the white colour.
Yeah, I picture exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
that
can't
kind of uniform. Yeah, I remember
very
thinking,
intimidating.
yeah, and apparently where the toilets were in that corner was where his headmaster offices would have been. And I know for a fact that no one was in that restaurant because I had closed it down. I was the last one out the front, and then you had the boys in the kitchen tidying up. And they're all in white, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's, for one, they're not in black.
Yep.
And two, I had locked the front door, and there's a front door and then there's a second glass door, which was quite heavy, and it would creak, because it was, actually, when it creak, it would grate on the floor, wouldn't it? Because there was so much like stones like stuck underneath it, so it, like it would, you know, it would make a noise when it opened.
You'd hear it.
No, yeah, and it was just how it went, like straight the way across.
It's strange because then that would obviously explain then why the girl freaked out, because whatever was there, could have been what she was staring at. Because she carried on for the whole duration of the time she was there, and so much so that when they left, they went out the exit door because she physically was kicking up so much of a fuss and she couldn't go out the front. I remember when they left and it was like the restaurant was quiet, and I just remember thinking, so I carried on polishing the wine glasses, thinking, oh, it's me and that guy, wherever he is, just staring at me potentially. So, but then they do say that children are so susceptible to seeing.
Oh yeah.
More so than adults, but even so, it's like
children and animals, isn't it?
Yes,
dogs.
Yeah. Oh god,
their eyes. Yeah, was it? I can't remember my dad's dog when he was younger. He would sit in their living room in London and watch something come down the stairs from top to bottom that wasn't there. He'd sort of do the whole.
Oh no! No,
watching.
No,
and they'd always see him doing it, and they'd be like, "Oh, stop it!" Lucky, his name was Lucky. That was the dog. Yeah.
That. Oh, I'm sorry. If I'm just standing there watching your dog just going,
I know.
Obviously, wouldn't have a face like that. It's animated than that, but
Why do you go to my house?
Oh, you have to say about the one where the well, that freaked me out was the story that you told me, where was it like the army cadet people, where the house, I can't remember.
Yeah, I was thinking that. That's my dad's mum, that's my nanny's house.
Where they were walking,
yeah.
was up to a certain level. Oh,
she would see, oh that's right, no, she would, I can't remember if it was in that same house or a different one, because she lived in different houses in London, but she had seen at one time Roman soldiers walking down the hallway, just
casually.
Yeah, I know.
Was there?
But yeah, they were, when they were walking, the pavement cut them at their knees, so that, you know, their legs would be like that, and where their knees were, it would cut off because the ground would have been so much lower in those days, and the earth obviously building up. Yeah, she saw them going through the hallway.
That one.
And then it was again, I don't know if it was that house or not, but yeah, she every night she'd draw the curtains in her bedroom every morning. Before she even got up, they'd be open again.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's quite interesting.
Oh yeah, I'll show you actually. I don't know if you'll be able to see in this light, but
If I shine the light.
On scratched into the table, it says.
There. Oh. Well done,
Yeah. Focus. DEVI, and one can only assume would be the beginnings of devil, which is really, you know, it's a touching sentiment that you want carved into your dining room table.
Where you have your dinner at night. And
Yeah, and we didn't put that there. That was there on the wood, and we discovered it after having this table for maybe a year.
So, going back to the restaurant, which was so full of all these exciting, terrifying, freaky experiences, I was locking up the restaurant. I mean, at that point, where we were, it was relatively sort of quiet evenings during the week before like the busy weekends.
Yeah.
And so I would have sent one of the girls home by that point, and it was just me packing up. And there were two sections. We had the downstairs section, and then we had two upper levels. And one of the upper levels was directly above where the bar and the coffee machine were, pretty much where us.
And it was all open.
waitresses
They were like a mezzanine levels.
Yeah.
So you had like two stairs going up and then round into the extra seating.
It was a beautiful restaurant.
Yeah, really lovely.
And yeah, so I think I was sorting out like the tips or whatever else at the time, and there was this almighty like thump directly above my head. I thought, right, I mean, normally we used to put the chairs up on the tables, but the section above me, at that point, it wasn't touched, so it didn't need to be, like, it just didn't need to be, like, any chairs.
Were the chairs down?
They were down.
Yeah.
They didn't need to be put up because at the time it hadn't been used, so it didn't need to be cleaned or anything.
Yeah.
It was only the other two sections. And anyway, I was sorting out whatever I was doing at the bar, and massive thud above me, and I thought, that's strange, because again the doors were locked. The whole place was closed. It was just me in the entire restaurant, and then the guys in the kitchen, and I could see my eyes clearly that the two guys who was working at the time were over in the kitchen, and I thought, right, okay, that's weird. So I braved going up, and the chairs were all down, and it was, I mean, those chairs, very distinctive. Like if they were to fall, they made an almighty noise, which is what I had heard.
No, they were quite solid wood. So
Yeah.
they would,
And it's not like they were on the table for them to fall off.
No.
They were all down, and that noise was very distinctly above me, and there was no other, means of getting up there except up the stairs, which you had to go past me, and the restaurant was empty. So I went up there, and all the chairs were down, and there was nothing that would in any way be, I mean, I would have understood if the chairs were up and the chair had fallen down, either it was put up and it was just sort of edging throughout the day. But yeah, I thought that was a bit strange.
Yeah, because even with, I know it being an old building, because wood, all the floors were wood, so the wood would swell and then contract, and you get cracks and bangs. But
this was a real
bang, thud, like off the chair,
full on, and it was directly above me as well.
Yeah.
There was no other explanation for that happening. It was distinctly right above me, and that was the only part. I mean, the layout of the restaurant, that was pretty much the entire bit there. And I remember thinking, oh no, shut up and go home.
So yeah, that was our stories. Thank you for watching and listening. If you have any spooky stories, leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to read them. I love a good ghost story. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And we both wish you
a happy Halloween!
Oh my god. It's very much like, welcome to spooky time. Does it really help?
Do you know what I realised as well, which is really bad, is the fact that I have a mega ton of hairspray, so...
Ooh, don't want to be leaning over that.
No, let's leave that candle away from my... I know.